So for this flipped classroom, I'm going to briefly introduce the student roles that you'll have to make this flipped classroom work. So what a flipped classroom means in our terminology is to have short pre-recorded lectures that are going to allow us to be more succinct and focused in the actual delivery of material. We want to capture the lectures and discussions so we can enhance our collaboration. We want to be more reflective and have analytical discussion possible. So we're not spending all the time listening to Don and I talk, but rather get beyond the content delivery and talk more about allowing feedback and become more adaptive in delivering this course. And then what we found is that these discussion summaries, which we post as blogs, provide really interesting shared synopsis of the not just the lecture, but the discussion. So to make this work, we create a synthesis team, and we're going to do this with 2 people for each of these teams for each week. First, the discussion leader or facilitator who really leads the class time discussion and does that with posing a series of questions or discussion topics and leads people through to make sure the discussion keeps moving. And then a rapporteur and author who takes the notes and then captures the discussions and then writes that into a blog. So each of those I'll spend a little time. So what the team needs to do is prepare by looking at the video, watching the videos, reading the background materials, and familiarizing yourself with the various issues, the vocabulary, develop the questions and discussion topics, and solicit that from the other students as well. Sometimes you could use a SurveyMonkey if you'd like to rank and prioritize those discussion topics. And then actually lead the discussion. It's actually quite important to do that by soliciting input. You can often work with your team member to with some background IMing or texting to communicate during the discussion to say, hey, pick it up, or we might want to move to the next question, or use that opportunity to back channel each other to make sure we're keeping on time, and then follow up with reviewing the notes, assigning the writing task, accessing images, and drafting the summary statement. So you can work together on that, facilitator and the rapporteur slash author. So let's just talk about those roles. And these are important roles. These are important things to do as we feel to be a facilitator is an important role in doing good science for environmental management. So a definition of a facilitator is one who helps bring about an outcome, actually providing indirect assistance or guidance, keep the discussion flowing. And it comes from the facilis, the word Latin root for easy. And support everyone to do their best thinking and practice is a good definition. Encouraging full participation, promoting mutual understanding, cultivates shared responsibility. By supporting everyone to do their best thinking, a facilitator enables group members to search for inclusive solutions and build sustainable agreements. So here are some tips. Do your homework, come in prepared. Encourage interactions with all participants. Keep track who hasn't said anything and solicit input from them if they haven't. Keep things moving. Establish what we call a parking lot. Those are issues that we don't want to fully discuss at this particular time, but they're relevant and need to be addressed at some point. So establish a parking lot and make sure you come back and revisit that. Stay objective. Don't get engaged in arguing with anyone as a facilitator. Summarize throughout the discussion. Provide input. Stay in control. Don't lose track. Definition of an author. Another important role. One who originates or creates from a Old English, Old French word, the originator, creator, instigator. A Latin word of founder, master, leader, one who grows. I like Faulkner's quote, get it down, take chances. It may be bad, but it's the only way you can do anything really good. So get it written. So some tips on being a good author: outline your major points. For the first draft, don't get it right, just write it, and then go back and edit and review it. Do that repeatedly until you get it really clear. Use graphics to help clarify thoughts. Work to a deadline. Focus on developing a short descriptive title and select appropriate references. To get to be an author, you got to work off of good notes, and that takes on the task of being a rapporteur. And a rapporteur is someone who gives reports from the French rapporteur, bring back. So they say an elephant never forgets. Well, you're not an elephant. Take notes constantly. Save interesting thoughts, quotations. The medium doesn't matter as long as it inspires you. So you got to be a good listener and write it down. Some tips for note taking: think before writing. Don't write down everything. Don't try to do word for word. Use keywords, short phrases, and bullets, not full sentences. Focus on accuracy. Leave white space so you can fill back in. Keep it short. If you miss something important, ask. Please repeat. Review notes shortly following the session, so you can, because while it's still fresh, you might not be able to understand a phrase or even decipher your own writing. It's a chance to go and correct that. Listen carefully and pull out the main ideas. So we pull these activities together: the facilitation, the rapporteur, the writing, to form a blog. And here's an example of some of the blogs that previous students have done from this course, previous version of this course. Good title and a series of thoughts with references, and then images, at least 1 to 2 images, 3 or 4 are ideal for each blog. And you can go back and look at many examples of course blogs on the Ian website. We're going to list the people contributing to this as the first author and a second, maybe even a third author for these blogs, and we'll put that in associated with the blog. So these are the logistics of how to do that. We'll talk about separately, but this is the real key thing to these life skills we want you to learn about being a good facilitator, a good rapporteur, and a good author.